Hello all. Now we'll start with electron transport chain. In this class, we'll see the electron transport chain under these headings. Definition: shuttle system, two shuttle system, malate aspartate shuttle, glycerol phosphate shuttle, and where the electron transport chain is located, components of the electron transport chain, organization, how the complexes are organized in the electron transport chain, and at last the inhibitors of ETC. Also the PO ratio and the oxidative phosphorylation, how the oxidation is coupled with phosphorylation. Then we'll see what is PO ratio. So coming to the definition of ETC, energy producing metabolic pathway in aerobic condition. So electron transport chain means it is an energy producing metabolic pathway in aerobic condition. From this one sentence itself, we can understand it produces ATP. Aerobic condition means it utilizes oxygen. So ETC is nothing but a cellular respiration. Here, the electrons are transferred from a common oxidative pathway, TCA cycle, to reduce oxygen in the ETC. Okay, so electrons are transferred from TCA cycle to ETC to reduce molecular oxygen to water. Okay, so the electron donors are NADH and FADH2 from TCA cycle, and the electron acceptor in ETC is oxygen. So this electron transfer occurs through a series of complexes, electron carriers. These complexes are nothing but electron carriers. They are flavoproteins, cytochromes and quinones. The complex contains flavoproteins, cytochromes and quinones. So, you can see here from glycolysis, glucose is one of the major biomolecule. The second one is fatty acid and third one is protein. All this enter the common oxidative pathway TCA cycle, where the electrons are generated with the help of NADH and FADH2. They carry the electrons, transfer it to electron transport chain. In the electron transport chain, these electrons are accepted by your oxygen, which becomes water, which is reduced to water. This is an oxidation reaction because the electrons are lost from the NADH and FADH2 and it is gained by your oxygen. So this is an oxidation reaction. This oxidation reaction is coupled with phosphorylation. Which produces your ATP. That is why in ETC it is called as oxidative phosphorylation. Whereas if ATPs are synthesized at the metabolic level itself, if glycolysis produces one ATP, if a Krebs cycle produces one ATP, it is called as substrate level phosphorylation. If a ATP is produced in electron transport chain, we call it as oxidative phosphorylation. So now the electrons are carried from TCA cycle to ETC. That means the NADH and FADH have more negative redox potential, whereas your oxygen have more positive redox potential. That means this NADH, FADH has more affinity towards hydrogen compared to electrons. Your oxygen has more affinity towards electrons compared to hydrogen. So electrons are transferred from more negative reduction potential to the more positive redox potential. So same thing, the glucose, protein, fatty acid all enters into the TCA cycle from where the electrons are transferred to the ETC, oxidative phosphorylation, to produce ATP. These electrons are carried to the oxygen which becomes water, and this energy is helping in forming the ATP. We have seen the electron transport chain definition and how the electrons are carried from negative redox potential to positive redox potential. Now we'll see the shuttle pathways. We know from glycolysis also the reducing equivalents are produced, like your NADH, FADH2. So how these compounds are imported, otherwise transported from cytoplasm to the inner mitochondrial membrane, because your electron transport chain is present in the inner mitochondrial membrane. These compounds NADH and FADH2 are impermeable to this membrane. So they have to be transported from cytoplasm to the inner mitochondrial membrane through the shuttle pathways. There are two shuttle pathways. One is malate aspartate shuttle system and second one is glycerol 3-phosphate shuttle system.